Okay, so this is Flow Blue. Now, at the beginning of 2019, I made a promise that I was going to release an RODI at $990, right? And now we've got like 25% tariffs sitting on top of duties. We've got like, it's a big system to ship and all sorts of things. But I said to Harrison, like, I'm still going to do it, you know? So we do have, like, if you're really limited on money, and you go to the website, you'll see the specs are the same on the insides, like 150 PSI, you know, maximum pressure rating. Well, recommended maximum pressure rating. You know, so many gallons per minute, 1.75 maybe gallons per minute or something like that. But, you know, you can have a look at it, the specs, and the specs are going to be the same. It's really basic, one system, one pole, no bells and whistles, carbon steel for the frame. Like, you know why? Because here's the thing. The filter inside this costs $199. Right? That's the thing which is doing the work. So when you go to pay for a system, you got to be paying for, you know, like some thinking, some design, some investment, something, right? And what I look at is when I look at the old Washer Pro, right, then I go, you know, like it's a 1-inch piece of steel bent and welded, right, to make it cheaper, and, you know, a couple of plastic wheels put on it, and then like it's $2,000, back then it was $2,000, right? Now I think maybe it's $1,800 or whatever, and I think we've got to do better than that, right? So, yo! So this is Flow Blue, yeah? And this is the fully optioned version. Yep, so fully optioned means you've got TDS meter for RO out and DI out. You've got, up here, temperature and pressure gauge. Like, this is data that you actually need, right? You need temperature, pressure, TDS to be able to make an intelligent decision, right? So yes, it's plug and play. It's got RO only. It's got RODI, right? The way we set up the hoses and tubes at the bottom, yeah? And it's sediment. Down here is sediment, so it's a little 5-inch sediment. Sediment's not so important, but it's helpful. There's a great big granulated activated carbon filter here. Right, a 10-inch filter there, through to the RO, through to the DI, by a loop system at the back there. And what's amazing is if you get the fully optioned one, you get the pneumatic tires, and you get the, what we call a roll cage. You know, 2 years ago, I was in St. Louis, Missouri, with Matt from Fish Window Cleaning there, Matt Merrick. And Matt Merrick showed me, he said, you know what the problem is? These things are too damn heavy. Right? And guys shouldn't be lifting them up onto trucks and stuff like that. He said they need a rail on the back. And I said, well, I'll make that. Right? So that's always been my dream, is to make him his one. So you have a look at this roll cage here. These have got nylon runners. Right? So this is a nylon runner. And the reason that roll cage is there is so that if you've got a pickup truck, right, you can pull this thing straight up onto the back of the pickup truck. You won't damage your system, and you won't damage your truck. So this is a great way to make sure that from an ergonomic point of view, that your operator, your worker, has every chance of being able to slide it up on the truck or pull it up on the truck, but he's much less likely to slip a disc or do some back damage, because the day he does that, he's no longer a window cleaner. That's the point. Right? So the reason we made Flow Red, like, you know, around 45 to 50 pounds, to try and stay within that safe lifting range, you know. And Flow Red is still a product into 2020. We just think that Flow Red is more, it's just beautiful. Like, we spent so much money making it amazing. It looks like an espresso machine, right? So it's just beautiful, and an owner-operator will take care of it and look after it. And everybody said, look, you know, it's just got a lot of moving parts, and it looks, you know, it's made up, it's too beautiful. So we said, okay, we'll bring out Flow Blue for workers, right? So there's 3 models. There's bare bones, which is carbon steel, basic wheels, no bells and whistles, no gauges, no nothing, $990 plus shipping. Okay, so you'll see it in the store. There's $199 shipping. My shipping cost is actually between $450 and $500, right? So I'm sucking up the balance of the shipping, but I can deliver you, right? And then you go up one level, pardon me, and you get the aluminum frame in blue, and you get the gauges, and then you go up to the fully option, which means include the wheels and the roll cage, right?
So why can you run one pole on one on some of the systems and 2 poles on the other?
Oh, well, you know, I'm not the biggest fan of running 2 poles off one system, because the guy who's working at the greater height The guy with the lower height is going to get the water. The guy with the longer hose versus a shorter hose, the guy with the shorter hose is going to get the water. The guy with the bigger brush, the most number of jets, and the guy with the less number of jets, the guy with the most number of jets is going to get more water. Like, water finds the path of least resistance. So if you do want to run 2 poles off one system, then you can do that subject to your pressure, subject to your hose and tube, subject to gravity, subject to the choice of brush. You can do that with the aluminum and gauges version, and you can do that with this fella here, the fully option. Let me just show you down here. Right? So you see here, this one here and this one here are both...
this one.
Oh, sorry. This outlet and this outlet are both DI out, like final pure water outlets. And if you come here, you can see the water coming. Thank you. You can see the water coming out of the DI and going into a splitter. That aluminum bar there is a splitter. This is your TDS meter, right? Measuring the final water out. And these are your 2 outlets here. Can you see in there?
I do.
Right? There's 2 outlets there. So this system, subject to your pressure, subject to your hose and tube arrangement, subject to what height you're working at, and subject to the brush that you're using, if you can arrange it all, you can run 2 poles off this system. However, if you really...
You take the camera, I can't move in this spacesuit.
You got stuck in your spacesuit.
Yeah.
If you really want to run 2 poles off one system...
One second before you go into that.
What?
Can you tell them how much it weighs?
No.
You can't tell them how much it weighs?
I don't know how much it weighs. I'll tell you how much it weighs. It weighs too much to lift, right? That's how much it weighs.
And also, can they buy the filters locally?
Yeah, because we've got a warehouse in America. Depends how locally you are, but yeah, USA, 100%. We've got a warehouse in Des Moines and Ankeny.
And someone is asking if it's a plumbing difference, not actually a production difference.
Between what? Okay. Yes, there's a difference. There is a difference in plumbing, and we've learned that, so we've made some modifications. So we're running a much bigger supply line into this system than we would have done 2 years ago. You know, and what we were doing, you know, when we were buying, like I used to own RHG5s and stuff like that. So I've been using or making them for a long time. So yeah, but the thing which has changed, right, is that back in the day, or any of you who are using 2-jet or 4-jet pencil jets, right, the RO filter is stealing your pressure. I haven't even told you all about like this stuff, but the RO is stealing the pressure. It gives you pure water for free, right? It takes out 90 to 95% of the minerals for free, but you're paying the price of the water pressure, right? So if you're going to pay the price, you've got to offset or compensate for that water pressure at some point, or you're going to work 1 and 2 stories. So a lot of people want the filter to operate with the same pressure as before the filter, but that's never going to happen. There has to be a pressure differential. The greater the pressure differential, the greater the flow rate through the permeate or the pure water side of the membrane. But that's not today, right? That's my technical stuff. We'll come back to all that stuff. I'll answer your comments, yeah? What I do want to do... No, I can't. I'm going to pull this cover off. Is show you, hey, spaceman, get out of my space, spaceman.
I have a drink.
All right, not too much, right? Keep the real Martin in the house. We do not want anything to... All right, you ready?
This is live.
Da-da. Okay, you ready?
Yeah.
3. Martin, you got this?
Yeah, you want me to pull it?
Yeah. 3, 2, 1.
Launch?
Launch. So, if you really want to run 2 poles off one system, then you probably should have 2 40/40 ROs. We can get like a significant amount more water. Basically, the production of a pure water system is driven by the surface area of the filter that you have available. So if we put 2 filters, like everybody else is like understanding, but I mean, it's heavier, it's more expensive, it's like, you know, but you know, what we've done is we've made the frame out of aluminium, right? Aluminum, sorry, that's my Kiwi coming through. right? So you've still got the roll cage, you can still slide it up. It's probably a 2-man slide, but it's definitely got 2-pole outlets. Yep. So this is actually, you'll see it's still in aluminum now because it's actually the final prototype. We're just getting all the measurements right before we go into production. And we've got loads of common components so that we can keep the price down. So I think like 70% of the components on this are common with the Flow Blue. But the answer is Flow Blue 2 if you want to run 2 operators. Because that's going to give you like a significantly a higher volume of pure water out, right? So let me think what I was going to say. Pencil jets. So like in the old days, like if you go back just 2 or 3 years, like 2 years even, like anybody who made an RO never had to run, we're the only company that was running rinse bars, right? We have Hydroblade and Hydroblade 2, and we were making ROs, and we understood the responsibility we had to deliver loads of water because we have like 34 jets running, right? 34 jets running, and other guys are making ROs that are feeding 2 jets and 4 jets, right? So the flow rate, everything is changing. But here's the thing. You're not going to change your tap to the brush earlier than you're going to change your brush. So we have to change the brush, make the brush more effective, and then work our way back through the system, right? Because if you work your way back through the system, you're going to get a better production, a higher performance, a faster clean, yeah? So what are we saying? Oh, I did want to say this. Every single part of a Flow Blue or Flow Blue 2 is actually bolted to the frame. And the reason we did that, it's more expensive for labor for assembly, it's more expensive to make. But we did that because if you ever need to replace a part, you can replace it easily. Undo a bolt, change the part out, and put another part in. If we ever improve it, right, we know that we can send you an improvement or an upgrade, right? So we think that it's really valuable for you to sort of see that this unit is designed for you as compared to designed for us, yeah. And we think that, you know, because the replacement filters in these are $199 each, so that's your filter, right? What I've got to do is give you value for money for the rest of the money for the system. Yeah, that's kind of like how we look at it. So this little baby Flow Blue 2, I think the Black Friday special prices, but it's not available until maybe January the 1st or something like that. But if you buy it today during the Black Friday weekend, it's going to be like $1,990 plus shipping.
Talking about the pump area.
Oh yeah. Look at this under here, right? There's a cavity under there, and in there you can put a Wayne PC4. See these holes here? They're for the Wayne PC4. You see this shape here? That's for the Liberty 331. And you see these 4 holes here? That's for a marathon motor, to which you can add a Fluid Tech rotary vane pump. I mean, that's really the most powerful and the best motor. For like 150 psi pressure or whatever, you can adjust the pressure, and you can bolt those under there, and so it's made so you can add a pump to it and make that pump integral to the system. So we're pretty excited about that. But you can buy the pump separately, eh?
Are you pretty pumped?
Did I say that?
No.
I'm pumped about this. All right, so that's Flow Blue 2. Flow Blue's available as bare bones, aluminum engages, fully optioned, like rugged, and then Flow Blue 2 if you really want maximum volume, maximum flow rates, maximum everything, all right? How we go?
Perfect.
Woo! Get that off the sand.